So strange man in a shadow display sings out the story, counts the ways from dawn till dusk in accents sway. The Bill Jones Show never fades away. Bill Jones Show, it's the Bill Jones Show.
Damn it. I hit the X and it didn't close. Like it just continued playing. I missed the perfect beat. The perfect beat. Anyway, today we're talking about bribery, dog. The license office shut down the other day. And at this point, our license office is like a threat to the sanctity of just humanity. Like the UN need to step in at this point and really do something about the license office in Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm going to show you a scene, right? It had this South African criminal. When he grew up, he say he's a Rhodesian. You understand? He white. All them Swazi, whoever they teaching in school, and then he don't want to learn that. He went and started learning programming on his own. Paul Leroux. And eventually, he would go on to become a criminal of great notoriety. A criminal who, to me, what it seems when you look at his biographies and think, push the boundaries of what was possible and what we think possible for the criminal. People think this guy invented Bitcoin because when he was younger, he created encryption, like tools to hide data, hide information. He believed that starting with the receipt coming straight up to whatever now is like, those are records of the government tracking you. And his view was to get away from that. So now that we know what we know about Bitcoin being hosted in DARPA, the technology wing of the Pentagon, the Americans created that to create some kind of bubble to generate money for themselves. I mean, it is nicer than them having all these wars, right? Just make Bitcoin and make a bunch of people rich. You see, Paul, what he did during the big opioid pandemic that America had, when people just getting drugs and things, he had online pharmacies where you would have a prescription filled there, and he would just find the closest pharmacist to you and have that pharmacist or doctor sign off on it. And he's selling drugs all over America, not in bulk in the way that, oh God, the great pirates and all of them men. I forget what was the name of the website. People used to buy like bulk ecstasy, bulk all kind of madness on this website, and they were like, we's economists and free market and all kind of crazy shit, all kind of philosophy, and basically, LaRue operated in only like very, very like third world countries, Brazil, Thailand. I mean, highest profile maybe Hong Kong, but when it comes to money, you have to go there now. And he operated in Somalia. In fact, he had land in Somalia in the middle, somewhere in the desert out in Africa, with militias all around. And what they said, how they caught him, was he wanted to start planting cocaine in Africa. There was some cocaine that is apparently that plant that is developed that doesn't need to grow in the high altitude. And I believe that is the species that is now grown over in Venezuela by FARC and these kind of guys. Or maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, he basically, the police contacted him, the CIA, whoever, the FBI. They contacted him pretending to be Colombian cartel members. And these cartel members reached out and said, we want meth. So he's like, all right, I have some situation between them and the Mexicans who really making the meth. He making meth. South Korea does make meth, and there's a guy that they say actually had levels of discussions with these kind of people. Anyway, I'm getting into nitty gritty who this guy is. Like, he said something. So the police and thing, they went to some part of Africa, some real rural part of Africa, and when he met them, immediately he was like, I know why all the choose here. This idols operating shitholes like this too. All the countries that he operating, he killing people and thing, dog. He just throwing money behind police and thing to cover it up now. and that is what he said. He said, these places are a shithole, and you just have to throw money behind problems and they go away. And that is why people operate in countries like the Caribbean for money laundering and all of these kind of things. It's because it's a haven. Our bourgeoisie, our political class, all these French, Creole, Syrian people, and all them posh, rich business, Indian people in business, and all these people, like, you think they don't want this to go away? They have everything they want here, and anything they want, they could pay for it. It is when people take advantage of those that not as not in that place, like simple business owners who now trying to support the family. They work all their life, now they're going into business, and they want fire. There's a bribe from one of our police commissioners where you have to pay $50,000 as a bribe, and it is noted that he gave out 500 gun licenses in the period that he was commissioner. 500 by 50,000 is a lot of money in bribes. And the reality is, they have what you call gangster links. Like when a pawn cross the board in Trinidad, he mightn't really become queen. He mightn't really, because it have so much bosses running all over the place, that when a man really have links, like more than just the narcotics and thing, they have what you call gangster links, where a boy could, so demerit points on your license. When it had that, you could pay money. I can't remember how much it was, like a couple thousand, and they would take the points off your license. It would be a big pile of folders that they would basically put forward to this one person, and they seen about these bribes, and when they onto them, the bribes would go away and then they would come back. But at the end of the day, that infrastructure exists for people to abuse it. We had situations where I mean, just more bribes, like CXC subjects, 1,500 per CXC subject. So it's not just the license office; it's across the board in Trinidad. What is, why we have all of this now? Like with gun licenses, I've seen they're charging people $60,000, $70,000, so $50,000 for the people in the police unit that's seeing about your gun license, and then 20,000 for the gangsters who putting you on. This is mad extortion, and all of this is for something to defend yourself. That should be your right as a citizen. I've heard that people down here getting braced for gun license, and they carry in the Trinidad, they taking some faction within the lawmaking system or whatever to court, saying that they are business people, they have access to money, they're walking around with money, and they should be given a firearm. And then those people saying that there is a kind of monopoly on selling firearms here, obviously, because we do sell guns, where it have businesses who selling guns, and they charge top markup for Glocks and stuff, and these people actually fight to get a license from the commissioner to be able to bring in a gun for themselves. It's all kind of bacchanal and backwater bullshit going on there just for a gun license, because people know that is a key part of surviving right now in Trinidad, where criminals just jumping out on you, storming your yard, all kind of thing. It's madness where we live in now. Trinidad even getting a little malicious, where people looking at people in the east, where it does seem to have as much robberies in terms of house invasions done down central and south. But you don't understand, like, it's lonely down there, no, boy. Like where I live in, all the neighbors around me, they sleep with the lights on, dog. They have big, like, street. They have lights brighter than we street lights in them yard, dog. Like nowhere around my house dark. Only one side dark, where the neighbor does sleep. He don't have no light on that side, but all the other, like the back, all of the other side is just men have on lights, dog. You can't go nowhere in nobody place here. It have one set of dog. The place small, it cramp. That is why I don't have invasions anyway. Like our invasions to me is more like in the daytime, in the morning time. You see 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock and thing, all them time, prime robbery time, dog. You see it, men coming and walking around and all them kind of thing. Prime robbery time. After lunch, prime robbery time, dog. When I get quiet. If you ain't lock up your place, them kind of time, you're looking to get scraped, dog. That's the reality, On briberies in Trinidad that I encounter, I remember when I was a boy, I get robbed. And I had to go and pay a set of money to get this and that and all kind of documents all over the place. when I go on by the license office, my mother had to give me money, all kind of thing, to pay to get back for my license. And when I go on there, it's some ancient text, dog. Like they ask me when I get my license, what day. So I tell them, well, how much ever years ago, and they bring out some big book, dog. And basically, when they issue you your license, the issue date on your license, that is the only valid information that you need. So you go there, tell them when you get a license, they say, okay, this is when we sign you in to get a license, and this is the record we have for you. And then when they get that record of who you is on your license, then the class of it and everything, then they could go and replicate your license, take a new picture and all of this kind of thing. I do all of that. And a clerk come by, the license officer real busy today, real test today. If you want him to speed it up, you got to pay him, I say, boy, I broke. I can't pay nobody for none dog right now, I just have money to go. He said, all right, no scene. I wait there for hours, dog. More than 3 hours. Dog. And the license officer, I remember he come in and drinking water and leaning up on the fountain and thing and catching kicks, dog. Laughing at me. I had he make me wait there because me pay him a little money, dog. I done had to, dog. Like, I remember getting my license and all. The man coming and telling me how I had to pay to get the license. I was like, but I go just do the test because I don't have money like that, no, boy. My father went and paid for me. When I go on there, I doing the test. And when I do my 3-point turn, the license officer say, yeah, just pull a little bit again. So I do that now. And then he's like, all right, cool, go in the car. I go in the car with 5 people, dog. The man make me just come out and do a hill test. And everybody else drive on the flats and thing. And then when he drop you off, all of we pass. Like, I hear now that is all 2,000, 1,500 and thing, dog. Like, how it is that these private car people with license officers controlling and have a racket like that big, no boy, that they could just do what they want. I remember when the UNC was in power the first time, like this probably 20 years ago, a guy was like, he want to digitize the license office and he want to update it and all them kind of thing. And every day, dog, police had to come and pick up he and his family because it's death threats, dog. License officer, death threats, dog. Men death threatening the man, yo, we making money here and you coming in and rolling out your nonsense. You taking we food, dog. You understand? Like, that's what it is, no boy. Men using our legislation to create some kind of black market where they could pinch people for money, and it's upsetting, no boy. You go now, like, we have to inspect our vehicles after 5 years and thing. You go to these bays and thing, and I remember when at the end of last year they raised like a bunch of taxes, dog. Just if you're on the road without tint is this charge and that charge and that charge. They're trying to make money off of we. Why as a business you don't try to make money with efficiency and technology, dog? Like how all businesses does make money. They had a situation there where their system glitched, and people, dog. Imagine this is the worst part. This is why I say is an attack on humanity, dog. The license office. People have to go there, and basically outside of the license office have a little dead end road. And when you come in the morning, like you have to line up in that queue. You have to park there, down in a street, and lock yourself inside of there. People coming from all 2 o'clock in the morning, dog. When I went, I reached minutes. I think I reached minutes to 4. And minutes to 4 in the morning, I reached there, and I reached about one full row full up already, and up to the middle full up. And I probably come 17 to 20 or some kind of if so low. That is madness, dog. Like you go into just inspect your vehicle, and when you drive down a road, it have so much people. I remember when I went 9 o'clock, not even 9 o'clock, I went 8 o'clock in the morning. When not even 9, we couldn't be 8 o'clock, it was 9 o'clock. When I drive down the road, his cars park up. You can't even stop. You drive straight down, and I see a woman in a car. I was like, Mom, you come to take your vehicle? She said, well, my husband seen about it there. I just waited on my thing. So I was like, what time you come? She said she come 4 o'clock or something, and she reached 5 or 8 or some kind of crazy thing like that. And it's like by the time people reach 9 o'clock in the morning to do this thing, it already have a queue for the entire day. These businesses happy, dog. Their money every day, they know they're generating X amount of money because they're taking X amount of people to inspect the vehicle. It's absurd, dog. When I end up finally going back and getting through, I had to get a new certified copy. So they change the system and say, well, we have some digital things. So when they come and they digitize my copy, they make a mistake on it. Tell me how to go by the license office. So I asked them if I could go any license office. They say yes. So I call Arima. Arima, you sure I could come by you and do this? Yeah. You come, do line up, ting. When I come the next day, dog, I line up, waiting early, all them kind of shit. A guy comes out, and a license officer comes out, and he starts, sir, this line, that line. And he's so much authority, dog. That man was like, but he's Trump, or how he telling men like, yo, don't come here, don't come here. Like the men see authority as being Trump. I don't know what is that aversion in black people mind. Why Trump is to them the ultimate authority to, like, do what you want. Like, oh, this man doing what you want. He not doing what you want, he doing his job. He being professional. He have ethic. And I respected that, boy. When I talked to the officer, I say, officer, I come to do this. He say, we don't do this, we ting. Very polite. He said, we don't do this. You have to only the car leaders do this thing. I said, but officer, I actually called here and a clerk confirmed for me that this is, and he said, who's the clerk? So I said, well, officer, I don't know that. Thanks for your help and everything. But at the end of the day, imagine that the government roll out something where you have to do this by X time else we charge you. They didn't even update the systems, dog. I went on Chat GPT and I tell Chat, pull the data and tell me what to do, dog. And from their website, when I went back and verified, they still have the old information. It's not even in their mind. They don't even have the responsibility, dog, that the portals by which the government distributes information, they don't even care to change it, to update it, dog. A bunch of you putting people in he says, she say bullshit, dog. And at the end of the day, if you don't adhere and listen to them, they want to charge you and take your money for you, dog. 6,000 for this, 10,000 for that. It's ridiculous, dog. No respect, dog. Like people still going through that, dog. I just want one day somebody go there. They have nowhere to pee, no toilets. A woman, let her go there. Don't drink no water, don't eat nothing. Waiting from 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock for 8 o'clock for them to open. Let them die from diabetes or some kind of shit, dog. Let people really see what we putting people through. Charge the government, dog. Why the charging we for? Why we don't fine you? I fine after the days that I went through having to go license office and line up here and line up there 4 days in a row from 4 o'clock in the morning. And then they should pay me, dog. I shouldn't have to pay no license fees for the next 15 years, dog. 15 years, dog, because that's every 5 years you're paying 500 to get back your vehicle. I shouldn't, 1,500 should be cheesecake for the time that I put inside of there, dog. Absurdities, dog. That's the absurdity of the license office. That's the absurdity that we living with, dog. Like, I don't like that, dog. Lily, I was talking about this LaRue guy and how they end up catching him. That is called a Mr. Big operation. And I saw this movie called The Stranger, where they did a Mr. Big operation. And boy, that movie is a movie about maybe anxiety. Like the way that it is shot is like you're feeling the anxiety of the moment this criminal, he do something heinous and they're trying to friend with him and be there. And when you see in his behavior, the things that he doing, when he get comfortable with the character that you follow, like, is fair. Is really like, and I see that guy in my mind even now, slow dance into some weird Australian pop music, and it frightens me. The Stranger is a good movie, but it's about this Mr. Big operation that they use to capture LaRue. And I've seen that that is actually the operation, a choice for police, where they approach you as a big syndicate and they put up all these things to trick you. So he goes to this hotel. The guy pick him up and he's like, yeah, he's a criminal, he's a criminal, and we just take care of guys and when you if you come through good for we go take care of you and all of that kind of thing. And the guy, he goes to this hotel empty. The waitings, a man come and talk to him. Yo, we had to be honest with you. If you have anything you ever do, and they asking him to cut back. He flick some of his crimes and things so they could fact check it and thing with other criminal and to make sure he is who he is. No, they want honesty. They want to know who he is. And but all this time, them just gathering information on the man, boy. And like I always think about that, right? When you read about police and anything in other countries, they have what they call vice units, where these units are aware of certain intelligences. Like, same way you live in somewhere and you know who's selling weed on the block. You passing and you seeing them, you passing and seeing this, you passing and seeing that. How police not seeing these men, dog? Like, it's not like we living in, in New York and it have blocks and buildings. It's just house and house and house, dog. Why you don't have a web of the infrastructure, the place, like the criminals, the petty thieves, where they from, where they stay, who they related to, all of them kind of thing. Why we don't have that? To me, that is all you need in this country to fight crime, to understand who is the players, who is the infrastructures and the relationships that they have that running drugs. Drugs right now, wrapping we whole country. I was talking earlier about how in Venezuela they started planting cocaine and all of that kind of thing. Like recently, within the last 2-3 years, we've seen people caught in Trinidad with liquid cocaine and thing, which means once it have liquid cocaine somewhere, it means that they have a processing plant in that place, because to turn the cocaine into whatever liquid or textiles and all kind of thing, to hide it. When they go to the other place, they need to add back some compound or some chemicals for it to go back into being powdered form now. And like, we have that sophistication. We had Syrian cloth factories, and now is like the Venezuelans in 2014 or 2018 had shut down their the operations that they had there, where people were selling a lot of cocaine through cloth. Coal is what is called black coke, black gold, or whatever. Black coke, yeah, black coke is coal. Um, it's just too much, boy. Too much bribery, too much nonsense, too much sleight of hand. I'm looking at Kamala marketing, Singapore. Trinidad is, we're going to build something to be like Singapore, a nice big hotel that people could stand up on this balcony and look at the ocean and look at the ghettos of Trinidad. And, that'll attract business people now. The Chinese say that you could build what you want, but that don't mean people will come. China build all kind of thing and nobody come to it. In the Caribbean here, when we build these things, who come into it? We off on the edge out of all the shipping tracks of Latin America and Panama. We do have ports to process the ships from Panama or Jamaica does. They have no reason to come here. If you buying something, you buying it for you to sell here, no boy. That's why shipping costs kind of high here, because nothing really passes through here. The old system that we depend on from stuff from America, like, that gone through, no boy. That absolutely gone through. It eating up the US money that we have, and we're not even making US to buy anything. We give up with oil, dog. Sad days. Sad days. I feel the end of there. Kind of bummy today. Talking about these license office and all of this, but it's just sad, no boy. These people don't care. It's so, you're running a business, the license office, at the end of the day. Outside of the license office have people that sell people documents. Why doesn't license office just charge for your documents, charge for your forms, make money different ways? Like, you allowing people to come in, and imagine when you lining up there 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. These touts that come in to sell you forms and things, those are the people that watch you. Those are the people that come and, oh, you have this problem, this is what you had to do, you had to go in this line, and they ease your mind, but it have none of that. You don't get no help when you go in the license office. Dog, and you go there now, if the gate finally open and you go inside all 9 o'clock, you still waiting, and people still coming to work. They come and they sit down and they praying in the car, they had the coffee and they don't want to go no. Like, just real incompetent people, dog. You will never work with people like this in a real environment, dog. And no company, they can't even get through the door, dog. With them kind of attitude and thing. License officer back and forth, only going to the car, coming back to do put this in the car, put that in the car. I can't understand it, dog. The level of incompetence to the sea. And then they're the best part. When I finally get through, after lining up, the license officer watch the certified copy, and he say, boy, I don't even know what's the problem here. I say, well, officer, they said this information wrong. The type of vehicle. He watch it, he scratch his head, he say, nah, they put it in the wrong place. But they shouldn't send you back for that. That what he tell me. They shouldn't send you back for that. It's just a breakdown over there, though. It's just people like they have mandates to do things. There's your okay. You had to stamp this document in this line here. And then one day this guy get a document from somebody and they do have like some line. The line that is supposed to stamp on, they do have the line. And he can't even use his brain to just put the stamp anyway. No, but he had he had to go and he had to get a new form. Like that's the problem with Trinidad, dog. That's the problem with Trinidad. People have these small windows of authority and they just want to use it to bend over other people. Businessmen just talk about it, dog. When you go into these tax places and things, these clerks, they have no respect for you and your time, dog. No respect for you and your time. The system has no respect for you and your time. You know, the license office will say, boy, we just give out 8,000 certified copies a month and 4,000 of this, but that's subsistence, dog. Because guess what? You have people lining up and camping outside, dog. You have people, you just waiting for some situation to happen. Where these people out there and they doom, dog. They have no toilet facilities. They have nothing, dog. Like is an attack on humanity. What we're experiencing from our government. All these, you know, they go wake up tomorrow and say, boy, we putting a tax on your fucking prick. And you had to go and line up tomorrow. Or else we go take a prick from you. And everybody going and fucking line up, dog. Oh God, holding my prick. I go take my prick, dog. I want to have to pay. Wait. You go pay you take the $20,000 for your prick. You go let them take your prick. We go piss like a woman.